Good afternoon. Deep Evil Novel, Climate Change Novel. Author and solo acting Ahmed Gaber Abdelhamid, episode 46. Gary entered a restaurant belongs to a five-star hotel in New York. He looks around to find Michael. He found him in the latest table beside the window. He sat. Front of him he took the menus, but he didn't read it. He almost knew what is inside very well. After he made his order, he said, until now, the CIA section whom handled the case didn't approach me. I think I have to approach them. If I took the evidence file, I can move more fast. They will put more obstacles on your way. Let them think that you are a struggle, Michael said. Anyway, they are putting an obstacle on my way, Gary said. But they are not close to you. They are watching you from far. Do not forget they are in a trap from the middleman. If he knows your steps, he will use all of them to make you fail, Michael said. Michael continued, our team think to approach the key persons to extract the evidences by ourselves, but they suggested to change the approaches ways to do not make the organization or the middleman explore the approaches, Michael said. Did they suggest the kind of approaches? Gary said, yes. They prefer for George to approach by a professor from Harvard, from CIA, but with the younger brother to approaches by a new relation with a pretty rich girl, Michael said. I like these ideas, but also I will move in another way. I will try to penetrate the organization data to explore what is so important in the stolen researches, Gary said. Once George entered the restaurant to take his lunch in the middle of his day, he found one empty table in the restaurant. He went to it and sat. In the same time, Gary sat on the front of him. How are you, George? Gary said. I'm fine, George said. Did you thought about what I said to you? Gary said. Yes, I'm so sorry. I am just a researcher in the university. I am not an agent in intelligence. George said. Okay, I understand what you said. I will not enforce you, but I have another choice for you. The prospective spy is from your colleagues. I will fix now one chip in your mobile to record something important while next 3 days. In these 3 days, make your private calls from another mobile. Gary said. Then he opened his hand to make George give him his mobile, and he fixed his eye on his eye, very sharp, but with a small smile. While George think to take the decision, Gary showed him his CIA card to push him to take the decision. George finally gave him the mobile. Gary used a very small tool to open the mobile. He put the chip, which is component from two chips, After he closed the mobile, he looked to George and smiled. George, this small effort you did is very appreciated. You are a real patriot. But do not release the chip before I meet you after 3 days. George shook his head as accept. Then Gary left. Once Gary rode his car, he received a call from his secretary. Hi Gary. George opened his mobile, then he opened the contacts on contacts named Mr. Jack. Then he turned off his mobile. That means he will talk Mr. Jack from another device to avoid the recording. Is it a US number? Gary said. Yes, secretary said. Put his number and the recording, Gary said. Already I did, secretary said. This call may be forwarded automatically to another device outside US, Gary said. It is under tracking, do not worry, secretary said. After 10 minutes, Gary received a voice message from his secretary. Gary, open it. Ringing, then the line is open, but is still ringing. It is transferred to another line. Then the line is opened. It is answer machine. Please leave your message. Then George voice. Hi, I am George from Harvard. I have something new. Please reply on this number. Gary called his secretary. Didn't catch. Did you catch the transfer number? Yes. It is a Spanish number, secretary said. Did you catch George another number? Gary? Yes, and I put it under recording, secretary said. After 1 hour, Gary received a text message from his secretary, George. We are concerned about your news. I will meeting you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. on the nearest Starbucks from your home. Thank you. See you next episode.